one thing to remember first and foremost when it comes to engineering, okay? The first thing to remember with engineering is they have to be unlocked first. So, from your ship, if you go over to your panel here, and you go to engineers, right here, that will bring this up. That will give you a list of engineers. If they are orange, like this, that means you have unlocked them. You have access to them. Okay? If they are grayed out, it means that you have not unlocked them yet. And to unlock them, you'll notice there are some, where it says log, there are requirements to unlock them. So for Liz Ryder, I've obviously learned about Liz Ryder through common knowledge, which learning about Liz Ryder through common knowledge means she's automatically in your list of engineers. You don't have to do anything to get her in the list. When you start the game for the very first time, she will be in the list. That's what learning about her through common knowledge means. The other thing I have to do is you gained access to Liz Ryder because the Eurobia Blue Mafia invited you. What does that mean? So the Eurobia Blue Mafia is a faction, kind of like, the Fuel Rats mischief in Fuelum is a faction. To get, quote-unquote, invited by the Eurobia Blue Mafia, I have to go to a system that they are located in and basically do missions for them. I have to gain a reputation with them. So once I have gained allied level reputation with them after doing so many missions, they will basically that will give me access to Liz Ryder because I will have been considered quote unquote invited. Now, every engineer has their own requirements. We have, let's see, Lori Jameson. Here we go. Lori Jameson, who does engineering for utilities and scanners. Okay? I learned about Lori Jameson because I did some engineering with Marco Gwent. So because I did so much engineering with Marco Gwent, because I did so much engineering with him, I became aware of her. She basically, Marco quote unquote told me about her. So, to gain access to her, I have to get the Pilots Federation combat rank of Dangerous. So once I get the combat rank of Dangerous, Lori Jameson will unlock for me. Okay? So that's how you unlock engineers. If they're grayed out, they're not unlocked yet. So to unlock them, each have their own requirements. So one of the first people that gets unlocked, typically speaking, is Felicity Farseer. Felicity Farseer is the engineer that everybody goes to at first because she is a frame shift drive engineer. She can fully engineer your frame shift drive up to grade 5. And so of course everybody wants to jump further, so everybody runs to Felicity. So to unlock Felicity, again, she is common knowledge. And you have to have Pilot Federation Exploration rank of Scout or higher, which you can very easily get just by running around, like, scanning systems. It's very easy for you to gain Scout Exploration
Cheer 100 Ember. I need some advice. Do I call in to work and blame the weather, or do I chance going to work for the sake of at least some pay next week?
Leo, that's a bad question to ask me. Okay, let me put you this way. If the pay is necessary, if you need the pay for next week, as much as it might suck, go. If you will be financially okay, if you call into work and blame the weather, you can do that. You have to do what's best for you. Just do what's best for you. That's all you can do. Okay. And then the final thing is you have to provide her a unit of meta alloys. And this is usually where it trips people off, because where you can buy a single unit of meta alloy is in the Maya system. For context, bearing in mind, I'm in Jackson's Lighthouse, okay? Let me go to... Okay, so the majority of people are going to be in and around this area, okay? Like, this is the starter zone, okay? For context, this is the starter zone. Now, Felicity Farseer is located in... Oh god, what's the name? Oh yeah. I'm gonna help if I can spell. So, Felicity Farseer is located in Tikait. Look at how far Tikait is. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I've never known. I always pronounce it Tikait. Or Tikait. This is how far Tikait is from the starter zone. Okay? Bear in mind, this is how far it is from the starter zone. Not all that far, is it? It's actually fairly close. It's actually not too far from the starter system, right? Okay. But you need to get a meta alloy for Felicity. Oops. Shoot. Hang on. The problem is you need a meta alloy for Felicity. So, to get the metal alloy, you need to go to Maya. That is where they sell meta alloys. Although these days, you can easily just go get a meta alloy from Titan. Before, meta alloys really could only be found at Maya. Look how far away it is. Look at how far away it is from the bubble. For a starter ship, that would be quite a pain. Okay? We've had a lot of rescues for people going to Maya to get their meta alloy for Felicity Farseer. Now, again, you can just go to a Titan these days. You can go to any one of these Titans and find a meta alloy. So it's a little different now. Okay? But, chat, I'll let you in on the secret. You don't have to go to Felicity to get your frameshift drive engineered. There's a much easier way to do it. You can go talk to Elvira Martuk. Elvira Martuk also does grade 5 full engineering on frameshift drives. What is her requirement? Well, she's common knowledge. Okay, so you start the game knowing about her. You gain access to her by traveling 300 light years from your starting location. So what career start location? That's referring to when you started the game. The system you started the game in. That's your career start location. Travel 300 light years from your career start location. It's not all that difficult to do. That's not that hard to do. You literally just jump 300 light years in total. Quite easy. And then you fulfilled your initial contract by delivering 3 units of Soontil relics. You want to know where Soontil relics are? Why, they're in the Soontil system. And again, from the bubble, it's a little bit of distance, but it's closer to the starting point than Maya is. So Elvira Martuk is much easier to gain access to and to engineer your frameshift drive than Felicity is. Everybody just knows about Felicity because she's one of the first people that pops up in your engineering list. Do Elvira instead. She does the exact same engineering that Felicity does. And it's easier to unlock her, and she's closer. And hi, Datrius. Hello. Welcome in, Raiders. You're just in time for my daily Elite Dangerous lesson. So that's a little tip for if you are going to be wanting to engineer your frameshift drive. Go and unlock Elvira instead of Felicity. She's closer and easier to unlock, and she does the exact same frameshift drive engineering as Felicity does. That is my advice. Now, for engineering itself, I need to go see Marco because I need to get my power plant engineer. Yeah, actually, let me not use my shortcut. I will locate him directly from here. So, to find the engineer, you notice when I go into his panel, see it says View on Galaxy Map? I click on that. Boom! It shows me his location. Now I've got my map filtered, so it's not showing that. Let me remove my map filter. There we go. So, he's in the Sirius system. Why so serious? So he is in the Sirius system. And you notice he has this little icon. Okay, so you'll notice that there's this little icon to indicate he is an engineer. That's what this little nut symbol is. It's to indicate he is an engineer. So, okay, Leo, as long as you will be okay. Okay, as long as you are okay. So, there's plot a route there. It's close by. I mean, it's only like 165 light years away. That's easily enough for me to make it in one jump. Okay? So let us launch. And yes, I'm deliberately not talking about what I may be needing because we're going to find that out when I get there. So that is indeed on purpose, Chad. Right now we're just talking about getting to the engine. Now be aware that every engineer is on a planet. Every single one of them. So if you want to engineer anything, get good at landing on planets. Or get good at flying, going through planetary atmosphere to land on planet. Because every single engineer is on planet. So that's something you're going to want to make sure you know how to do. Which I can do a little mini lesson on the way to Marco. Alright. Of course, long witch base. Because of course it's a long witch base. It wouldn't be elite without a long witch base, would it? Would it, Jack? Ha ha. Okay. Zeb, you must have been going very fast to have done. Wait. Did you so you face planted into the planet's surface? Not just the OC, you face planted into the surface. Yes, that will hurt. Speaking of, I'm going to need some assistance from someone in chat. A little bit later. For my technique demonstration. Oh, J10, if you can find it, that'll be great. So, we are in Marco Gwent's system. So, as I said, it is a planetary station, so we have to make sure that settlements are selected in our nav panel filters, because it is technically a settlement. And there you go, you see Gwent Research Base with the little nut symbol in front of it? That's his place. That is where Marco is located. So we lock that in, and let's fly. some fuel in here because it's a bit far away, so I want to SCO. I need to put a bigger fuel scoop in here. Alright, so it's a little far away, so let's SCO it. And there. Yeah. When it comes to planetary approaches, you want to be careful. Okay, this is the planetary. This is landing on a planet mini lesson. You want to approach the planet slowly, so you want to make sure that you keep your throttle modulated. Just notice mine's in the blue zone. Keep your throttle modulated, because don't forget, we don't know if the no, Leo, that's just that's apparently on the Cobra they made the fuel scoop, the refueling thing bigger. So, one thing to bear in mind, I'm gonna slow it way down because we don't know, because of planetary rotation, because planets orbit and rotate, and they have orbit path and they have revolution paths, just like normal planets. So we don't know if Marco's base is actually going to be on the facing side of the planet as we're going through the star. It could very well be on the back side of the planet. So we want to go slowly in case we need to adjust where we're going. So, you notice how Marco's base, instead of being a solid orange 3/4 circle, it is a dotted 3/4 circle. A dotted 3/4 circle means that our target, his base in this case, is on the far side of the planet. And we have to go around the planet to get to it.
I put it in memes cheer 100.
Okay. So you notice now it changed to a solid circle. That means it is in front of us. It is not behind the planet. Granted, it's on it's on basically the end there. But it's in front of us now. So, to approach the planet, again, you want to keep your speed modulated. As you get better, you can probably approach it faster. I'm going very slowly, just for demonstration purposes. And usually what I do is I will keep my nose above the orbital cruise line, which you will see in a moment here. It'll be a blue line going around the planet. There it is. I usually keep my nose above that blue line until I'm ready to make my approach. And I will usually make my approach when I hit about 3 megameters. You see how it's counting down? It's at 4 megameters now. When it gets to about 3.5, that's when I'll actually drop my nose below the orbital cruise and actually make my approach. 3 megameters is a good metric for when you can drop your nose down below the orbital cruise. And you want to try and get it at a decent, 45-degree angle. If your angle goes in too steep, you'll get ripped out of Super Cruise because your approach angle is too steep. If your angle is too wide, it means you'll overshoot your target. Or you'll drop when you drop, you'll be very far from your target. A 45-degree angle gets you pretty well on target, so when you fully drop out of Super Cruise and then your glide, you're going to be right on top of your location. So right now, you heard orbital flight engaged. That means we are below the orbital cruise line, and we are on approach. And then once we got, you notice there's this line. I can't do it well. I can't show the mouse. There's the line to the right side there that's showing OC and then DRP, and there's the numbers counting down on it. DRP means drop. That's when we will drop out of Super Cruise into glide, which we are about to do. Dropping from orbital cruise. And now we're into the glide. We're into the glide, and look at that. Perfect. Dropped in so close I can immediately, without using any thrusters, request landing.
LAC Echo Mike Bravo, commencing automatic automated flight control routine. Please observe docking
Neuroma,
protocols.
you have a sub.
Proceed to
Yes.
landing pad 01.
You mean someone gifted you a sub? Yes, I have no idea who. I have had some very generous people in my chat for the last hour, so I'm not sure who gifted you a sub, but welcome! Welcome!
Landing gear
So,
deployed.
that is how you do, that is the easiest method to approach. Take it nice and slow the first several times, get used to it. Once you get used to it, you can get a little trickier with it and do it at speed and go a little bit faster. So, we are now at Marco's research base.
Touchdown complete. Engaging
Let us
ship
do some
restraints.
engineering.
Your arrival has been noted.
So, what I did is I went into local services, and we've got all this stuff here. And here's the engineer's workshop. This is what we are looking for. We are looking for the engineer's workshop. So, Marco only does power distributors and power plants. Actually, yeah, so this is all that Marco does. Power distributors and power plants. So what I'm going to work on is the power plant. And okay, this is new. They didn't do this before. Shoot, what class is my power plant? What's my power plant size? We're in. Okay. So. Okay. I don't know why now it's so... I'm confused why it asked me for that number before. Because that's not something I've... Oh, I was still on Browse All. That's why I'm still on Browse All. That's why I was there forever. Okay, so I'm going to power plants. It shows you your power plant, my 4A, with one overcharged engineering to it. And that brings up this screen. So, I want to overcharge my power plant. Actually, I wonder if... Let's see... Hang on a second. Okay, power capacity. No. I definitely need power capacity. Okay, yeah, this overcharge won't help me on that. So. Obviously, the first one is done. So, to do your engineering, if it's done, you'll have this little checkmark box right here. If you have not done it, it will have these nut symbols. If you have not unlocked it yet, you will see it has the nut symbol with a lock in it. So you have to complete your engineering here or you have to do a certain amount of engineering here before the next level will unlock. So I can't just jump from here to here. I can't do that. I have to go through the steps. So, to unlock to do 2, you'll notice over here, these are the materials that are necessary. So I need each shot at engineering, because you do it multiple times. It will go around this ring with each. You'll get a section around this ring each time you engineer. So for each shot at engineering, I need, in this particular case, I need heat conductive wiring and conductive components. Over here you can see it's going to cost 1 of each. That's normal. You'll only need 1 of each time. And I currently possess 9 heat conductive wiring and 240 conductive components. So I can do this. So I can indeed facilitate the engineer. Let's do it.
Shields offline. Shields online.
Now, you'll notice, after I did one single engineering, experimental effect came into place, didn't it? What is experimental effect? Experimental effect is an additional piece of engineering that you can do on top of what you're doing over here. And experimental effects are different for every module, and they are different for every type of engineering. So, what experimental effect is there available for me? Well, I can do Monster, which will basically give me even more power at a penalty of additional mass. I can do thermal spread, which will basically make my heat efficiency a bit better. Means I will not run quite as hot, which can help. Yes, it is. Yeah, I know. I'm going through them all. But I am already monstered, so I've got the power capacity addition because I only had one thing of engineering. Thermal spread helps with heat, so it reduces your heat signature, which can help in like combat because certain weapons in combat can actually cause your ship to heat up, and if you get too hot, that can actually start causing damage to your ship. It also helps when you're fuel scooping. If you're already running quite hot, when you go to fuel scoop, you'll get that much hotter that much faster, and then you could potentially cook yourself while you're fuel scooping. Double braced means that the integrity of the power plant will be increased by 15%, which means less of a chance of it failing, taking damage, say in things like combat or stuff like that. So it basically gives the power plant kind of like armor, essentially. And then stripped down is it reduces your mass. So it's by doing stripped down, you reduce your mass and thus you can increase your jump range. So that's what stripped down does. I have monstered because this is not a rat ship. I'm not overly concerned about squeezing as much jump range as possible out of this. I just want to be able to use weapons on this thing without everything shutting down. So, I'm going to keep doing overcharged. There you go. So that is now engineering level 2 is done. You noticed engineering level 3 has become unlocked. So engineering level 3 has mostly the same components, heat conductive wiring and conductive components, but now there's an addition. Now it also wants selenium. It also wants the raw material selenium. So I have 46 of those. So now not only will I need to do 1 unit of heat conductive wiring and 1 unit of conductive components for each shot at engineering, now I also need 1 unit of selenium, which I have. So we will do the modification.
Shields offline. Shields online.
We will do it again.
Shields offline. Shields online.
And again.
Shields offline.
There we go.
Shields online.
Fully engineered. Now we have level 4 available to us. Now you'll notice these have changed. Now I need a unit of a heat dispersion plate, conductive ceramics, and cadmium. All of which I have all of them. I have all of these. So I can actually facilitate my engineering.
Shields offline. Shields online. Shields offline. Shields online. Shields offline. Shields online. Shields offline.
There we go.
Online.
So I have gotten all of the engineering that I can get from Marco, because he only goes up to grade 4 for engineering. He does not do grade 5. So I have done all that I can do with Marco. Now what I can do is, like, for say I wanted to keep this engineering handy, so I can do it again. Say from my fleet carrier, I can pin the blueprint. Now I already have a blueprint pin, so I'm not going to override that, but I can pin the blueprint if I want it. For power distributors, he does not. He only goes up to level 3 for power distributors. Yeah. So he only goes up to level 3 on power distributors. Marco Gwent is basically a means of gaining access to another engineer. That's primarily the help from Marco Gwet. You engineer with him, you do like, I think you do like grade 4 engineering with him, and that will make another engineer that is more useful available to you. So Marco Gwent is basically a stepping stone. It's a bit of a grind so you can get to a better engineer, realistically speaking. So, what did this do for me? I have now grade 4 monster overcharged mech power plants. Oh, look at that. I can now fully utilize everything on my Cobra and not worry about everything shutting down. Because remember before, when my hardpoints were deployed, it shot all the way out here. Which means my shields would go offline and stuff would go offline. Now, they're both in this zone, so even with the power plants deployed, or the hardpoints deployed, nothing is going to, I'm not going to overtax my power plant for anything, because I have overcharged and monstered it. And actually, I could probably, now that I'm thinking about it, I can probably do thermal. Thermal spread.
Shields offline. Shields online.
Let's see. I should still be fine there. Yeah, I'm still fine. So now, I did thermal spread, so I will run cooler. The power plant will run a bit cooler. Because don't forget, by doing that experimental, by doing that engineering, one of the effects of it is heat. My heat efficiency goes up by 20% when I grade for it. But, with the experimental effect of thermal, the heat efficiency is 0.43, minus 10%. So basically, I mitigated this heat increase of 20% by getting the thermal spread, so now I'm basically, the heat efficiency has only gone up by 10%. I've halved the additional heat that I just took on for my engineering.